A new day, some more progress. Just finished cutting out the hole, or square, for the transmission. So that bad boy is going to sit roughly right about in there like that. I don't have anything right now, it's just resting up against the ground. But that's just about where it's going to sit. And like I said before about that, and remove the shifter out of the way, lined it right up with that pre-cut hole. So I'm hoping that the bottom chain will come right up underneath here and the top chain will go right up over the top. So I'm going to get cracking on trying to make a support for that thing so it sits where it's supposed to, and from there I'll start drawing up ideas about where everything else is going to start fitting. I know, it's I'm guesstimating here as I go along with everything. But till I have more to report on, Gabriel Hoy, signing out. Hey there YouTubers, Gabriel Hoy on a much-awaited lawnmower racing update video. Okay, so where we last left off, I was doing something with the transmission. For a very long stretch of time, I didn't have time to work on this at all. So within the course of a couple of weeks, this is what I've gotten accomplished so far on it. I'll get back to what I was doing with the transmission in just a second. Right now I figure I'd show off what I've done so far with the new steering setup. This is a direct steer system. Unlike my other racing mower, this is a lot more adjustable. What I've done here is, with a series of bolts and nuts and everything, I've developed a means of making camber and caster for the racing mower. Obviously it's not built, so I haven't tested whether or not this is a good setting on it right now, but I've got it adjusted to what I think might be a good setting once I get everything else up and running. Got a couple of half-inch grade 8 bolts welded. One of them, I got a nut welded to each part of the steering column, and basically there's one on the top and then there's another one down below. And what I do is, if I want to adjust how the wheel is tilted, I'll loosen up one and tighten the other, and it'll push up against this and it'll turn it. And then I also, that's the camber for caster adjusted. What I've done on here is, through this plate of steel on the top and the bottom, not sure if you can barely see that, I've cut out a curved groove in which these bolts, if I loosen them, can slide this way and that. And what that allows the tire to do when turning is, rather than just have the wheel, if it's, let's say I've got it at a slight angle like this already, which is what it's at right now, when it turns, it changes that direction, so it goes from pushing out to pulling in. It just gives it extra bite in the corners, especially for the inside tire. So right now I'm in the process of grinding off this section of steel right here. I'll get to why I have, I'll just tell you now. In case you're wondering where the steering wheel is going to be in all of this, the steering wheel is going to be attached horizontally. There's going to be a piece of plate steel that comes out at this angle right here, and I'm going to have a bolt and a piece of threaded steel rod that attaches from here down into this section. And what that does, because I was trying to figure out if I'm going to have the steering wheel like that, how does a turning motion like this get the wheels to turn this way and that, when I already had this much set up right here. So obviously rods connected down through here to this piece, so when I turn the wheel, this piece also goes this way and that. Well, how do I turn a upwards down motion into a this way that motion? And that's through this piece right here. So I've got the rod connected from this piece under the lawnmower to this section. There's another piece of plate steel that goes vertical downwards, and that's bolted to that rod, so when I turn the wheel, this piece will raise and lower. And what that means is when I turn with the steering wheel, when the piece goes down and up, that goes up, down, and that's how it turns. So, sorry for the semi-lengthy explanation. I hope you got the gist of it. Now on to what I'm planning on doing with the transmission. So, well, in my little cave of wonder here, my Uncle Dennis let me use the shed as my means of personal working space. As you can see, it's very roomy. So, what I've done, and I'm planning on finishing doing with the transmission, which is up there in the corner, my original thought on the matter, as I think I showed in the videos, was on these pieces of steel that bolt onto the transmission itself. I had some other L pieces that came out like this, and I was just going to put bolt, 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 and bolt right on the frame. That frame is way too flimsy to have it perfectly steady and not warp at all. Considering this is going to be a chain job, I don't want the chain to jump off. So what I built here, using 1-inch steel, square-tubed steel, is a piece that will fit snugly inside where I cut out on the frame, and then mount the transmission, weld this piece and that piece somewhere on this plate of steel, and then I have another piece of 1-inch steel that I haven't cut yet, and that's going to fit somewhere inside, and I'm going to weld it to these 2 points, have it butt up right against the back side of that, and then that's going to be welded to it. So these 2 strips of steel will be permanently attached to this section right here, and this is also going to be right around where I install the axle, so that way that one whole thing, one solid piece, that's technically separate from the frame. This will then be welded to the frame, but it's just to really give it some extra backbone, so that way nothing is going to torque twist. So right now I'm off to grind off this piece of steel that's sticking up. Don't need that there anymore. That was just the piece of steel I had available that would hold this piece, and it just happened to stick up more than I wanted. So I'm going to cut off all the excess I need and then finish up welding it so it's nice and solid on there. Then after that, I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll finish installing the steering wheel, and then I'm going to have to make a trip to Tractor Supply or someplace that has some sturdy steel rod, because I think I'm out, unfortunately. So, more update videos coming as soon as I can. Right now it's been a very, very busy time in my life. So, until more videos come, Gabriel Hoy signing out for now.